Some moves to the country are all about downsizing, but for others, it's the bigger the better. How long do you think it takes to mow this lawn?
I was going to say, I'm just trying to gauge the size of tractor I need, like a little mower I need.
Big moves can come with big plans.
I can imagine the alpacas up on the ridge up there.
Yeah, a couple of polytunnels in the corner and stuff, yeah.
And it's fair to say on today's show that big is most certainly beautiful.
Wow.
Here we go. It's big, right?
Yeah.
Shropshire, home to Salopians, the name for the county's residents, who are lucky to live amongst some rather splendid scenery, which spreads itself across lush valleys and lofty peaks. Hills can be calming, serene, and immediately whisk me away from the hustle and bustle of the city. But when you're on your way up, they can be a bit of a slog and anything but relaxing. That said, these are the majestic Shropshire Hills, so I'm going to keep going. Shropshire is one of the country's most rural regions, and the Shropshire Hills area of outstanding natural beauty covers around a quarter of the county.
Shropshire it's very diverse. You've got a lot of different kinds of countryside. You know, if you head south, you've got wide open spaces. In the north, it's much more sort of pastoral and farmland.
There are no cities in the region, but there are many beautiful villages brimming with whitewashed buildings featuring decorative timber beams, like pretty Ellesmere.
It's a nice area to live, all in the countryside, and all around the nice people. There's so many things in Shropshire you can't find in London or somewhere else.
Shrewsbury, the county town, is almost an island in the landlocked county, with the River Severn encircling a large section of it. Here visitors and locals can shop till they drop, eat award-winning cuisine, or get a culture fix amongst the town's 660 listed buildings. So what about today's escapees, and why have they decided to turn their back on town life and relocate to this beautiful area? Well, for starters, they're a young couple who dream of embracing a simpler life of self-sufficiency.
So one of the reasons we want to escape is I've always wanted to look after land. I've always wanted to have a tractor.
And then for me, I've always wanted alpacas. I don't know what it is about them, but I've always genuinely loved them. And one of our first dates when we first met, we went on an alpaca walk.
That was 12 years ago, and they now live in a 4-bedroom home in the Cheshire town of Middlewich.
It was always a 5-year plan to be here, and now it's up.
We'll also be escaping to the country with our 2 dogs, Eva and Nigel, and it'd be great to have some space for them to run around in.
Rachel is a surgical sales manager, whereas Tom works from home as a financial technical analyst.
So one of the things I've always loved about Tom is how nerdy he is and how he doesn't keep it a secret.
I'm into astronomy, and Shropshire's, I know, really good for its dark sites and its night sky, but I think enough land where you can have a little observatory in the corner of the garden and just look at some stars.
I love training my dogs. I currently train both of them in dog agility, so I'd love to have that extra space where I can get my own equipment and train them more at home so they can actually go right in competitions a little bit more often.
I don't just fall off things all the time.
Yeah.
With their house sold, they're ready to take the plunge and start the search for their new home.
We both grew up in Cheshire, so we're very used to having the countryside on our doorstep, but we want to be in the countryside rather than go to it.
Rachel and Tom have a budget of £650,000, and for that, they're after a spacious, detached property with 3 or 4 bedrooms, so they have options for a home office each. They want at least an acre of land, and although they're pretty flexible about the location, they would like good road links to visit family and friends, and for Rachel when she needs to commute. This move is all about lifestyle change for Rachel and Tom, and for my money, Shropshire is the perfect county. You get the dark skies at night for stargazing, there's plenty of character homes on the market, and I really love the swathes of open countryside and the rolling hills. Now, it's great that they have a good budget and they seem pretty open about the location, so I think their challenge is going to be finding somewhere that's rural enough. And in the hope of giving them everything they're asking for, we're starting our hunt in the Shropshire village of Weston. But before we cross the threshold of our first house, we're catching up in the pretty grounds of our hotel. Rachel and Tom, thank you for bringing us to gorgeous Shropshire. This feels like quite a gear shift for you. You've been living in a town setting, quite built up, and now we're going rural. How rural are we going? Like, what is this dream?
I think we always wanted something away from civilization a bit, and a bit something we can put a stamp on ourselves, right? Yeah.
What I love about you two is that you've had a 5-year plan and we are bang on the date. So what is it we're looking for now so you can make this next move?
Honestly, we're very open-minded, you know. It doesn't really matter about having a community or, you know, being secluded. It's kind of, for us, it's the right property in the right space, really. And then anything else is sort of like a bonus, really, around it, to be honest.
So what is it, the property or the location and the land? Like, if there was one that was going to be the more important factor, what have I got to bear in mind?
It's tough, right? Because I think the land allows us to sort of continue our hobbies, right? Like look after animals, like live off the land and sort of pursue that point. But the property itself has to be a nice sort of size to like host friends and family, right? So I wouldn't say it's one thing, it's right. I think it's a whole deal put together.
How long have you had this dream?
As soon as we got together, we talked about alpacas and like having a farm, and so it's been a long time.
This just sounds so magical. I can imagine you just can't wait to get started.
Yeah, definitely.
Shall we get out there? We've got houses to look at, we've got people to meet, we've got a county to explore.
Sure.
Should we get started? Come on. Just over 4 miles north of Weston and close to the Welsh border in the larger village of Prees, daily needs can be catered for. There's a convenience store and a post office, as well as a village hall and doctor's surgery. There are also regular buses running to Shrewsbury. A drive of just over 5 minutes takes us to Weston, where we've lined up this handsome double-fronted red brick house.
Wow. Gorgeous. Yeah, it's lovely.
In a very rural setting.
Yeah, definitely, It's very quiet.
It is. Apparently this is about as noisy as it gets.
Oh wow, okay. It's ideal, isn't it?
There's a gorgeous looking house.
Yeah. It's got so much like the character at the front of it as well. It's really, really nice.
No, it's really, really pretty. No, it's sort of like quaint, really. Like it looks like a proper countryside house, like an old farmhouse.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it is. It's about 180 years old.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
But the current owners have done quite a few bits inside.
Yeah.
Try and modernise it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's got a lot of history and there's so much I'm excited to show you. Let's get inside and have a look.
Yeah.
This 19th century farmhouse looks out across a very large front garden and is surrounded by its own land. We're heading round to a rare extension. So as with farmhouses, we come in through the back.
Wow.
Straight into the kitchen.
And I love it. I love the sort of flow into the dining area, the
Nice
space down there.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous size.
This is the one room they haven't done much in. They've kept what was here, so you can see all the carpentry here with the kitchen. And of course, you're looking out
The view, it's stunning.
onto the land. It does come with plenty.
Okay.
This whole plot is 2.7 acres.
Oh wow, okay.
Yes.
That's sufficient. I can see ourselves like hosting here, right? Like it's a big space to be hosting in, and I already feel like homely, right?
No,
It's
definitely. I'm already
welcoming.
thinking of stuff that I'd want to do to it, right?
Yeah.
Like how you'd like sort of remodernise the kitchen.
We're off to a pretty good start. And in the original part of the house is the dual aspect living room.
Wow.
I love the fireplace. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, the fireplace is really nice, And it's so light in here as well, right? You've got 2 big windows.
So what else does it have to deliver? Remind me.
For
us to stay on this vibe.
I guess it's just a couple of bedrooms and some maybe potential for office space, and I think
Well, it just so happens there's a second reception room on the other side, and that's being used as an office.
Oh, okay.
I had that earmarked for you.
Okay.
Haven't forgotten you. There are 3 bedrooms upstairs, and I think there's one of the rooms which, again, I think would be ideal for an office for you.
Okay.
A central stairway leads to the first floor, where there's a modern bathroom to serve the bedrooms, each one with a view. So this would be the main bedroom. It's the biggest.
Yeah. Again, the light coming in is
double windows.
It's so warming as well. Like it's that homely feel immediately, right?
Well, I'd say the house has done its job in winning Rachel and Tom over, so I can't wait to see what they make of the outside space. As well as the huge garden to the front, there's the plot of almost 3 acres, with outbuildings, which include 3 purpose-built kennels, offering numerous possibilities. So I am so excited now to show you all this land.
Yeah, it's a lot, yeah.
That's perfect. It's flat as well, so it's perfect for the dog training.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, this property used to have stables on it, and the current owners have bought this additional piece.
There's so much potential with it.
Yeah. I think it's perfect, right?
Yeah.
How long do you think it takes to mow this lawn?
I was going to say, I'm just trying to gauge the size of tractor I need, right? A little mower I need.
The current owner has a ride-on mower.
Oh, okay.
He says he comes out 2.5 hours. And I can picture the alpacas out here.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for you. I know it's the first house, but you've got such a warm feeling towards it.
Yeah.
There's one thing you don't know yet, of course.
That could break our
Here it
hearts.
comes.
It could. Let's find out.
Yeah.
So how much do you think this property is on the market for?
I want to say 620.
So £620,000?
I think it's going to be 65.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
£625,000. Okay. The guide price for this property and all of this land is £650,000.
Oh, okay.
It's only been on the market for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're the first ones to look at it.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay, that's
Yes.
interesting.
Yeah.
And the owners are quite keen to move on.
Yeah.
So they are leaving the country.
Oh,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So it could be some room for some negotiation.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
This 19th century farmhouse could have been made to measure for Rachel and Tom, with its sociable kitchen, 3 bedrooms, options for working from home, and of course, its extensive land and outbuildings. It's at the top of their budget, priced at £650,000, but it's ready to move straight into.
I think the setting of the house, right, is so
No,
nice.
it's lovely because it's nice that you can actually see the land from your property.
Yeah, and being
Like-
flat, right, and actually being
Yeah,
properly
yeah.
fenced in.
No, it's gorgeous.
It's very idyllic.
And the house is lovely. So it's got sort of the character and the cottage feel to it. Very sort of neutral, that we can really add our own stamp to it and we can definitely decorate it to our taste.
The character immediately from the front, old sills, old brickwork, but inside it's got its modern features inside as well, which is very nice. This is definitely a really good start.
We said a minimum of 1 acre, and to get this much land to the point where you're thinking like, what else can I do with it? So it's quite rare to find something like this, so it's perfect really.
There you are. Have you seen enough now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
had a good look. It took a while.
It's a lot to see, right, especially the land.
There really
yeah.
is. And this is only the beginning, so let's keep moving.
Exciting.
Shropshire is known for its green grass, its grand hills, and its gingerbread. Yes, that's right. The tasty, spicy snack hails from the market town of Market Drayton, and it's exactly where we've sent Rachel and Tom to have a wander, so they can experience a little more of what Shropshire has to offer.
I've lived in Market Drayton since 1986. My family's actually bakers and we had a bakery shop in the town and we still make gingerbread today. The town is great. They put lots of events on throughout the year. We do a ginger and spice festival. We have things like the Rock and Bowl festival. So there's a real nice sort of community feeling, not only just in Market Drayton but also the nearby surrounding villages.
Some of the buildings are really cool looking.
I know, I don't want to it's like so old. It's so quaint.
Yeah, it's like from Tudor times.
The traditional gingerbread, Billington's gingerbread, which is Market Drane's known for, started in 1817 and it's been passed down through families, through generations, locked in vaults, kept secret, and it's still now produced in the town today.
The Shropshire Union Canal runs through the town and is known affectionately as the Shroppie.
It's very pretty though.
Yeah, it is.
For those on foot, it offers lovely waterside walks. And for those wishing to venture further afield, good transport links include regular buses to Shrewsbury, a 50-minute ride away, and road links to destinations including Stoke-on-Trent, Crewe, Manchester and Birmingham.
At least the sun's out.
But to try out the local fare, you don't have to go anywhere. And to sample some, Rachel and Tom have come to meet Tracy Edwards, who owns a farm shop on the High Street. It's stocked with a great selection of local produce and is also hiding a rather special connection to the town's history.
It's a lovely shop that you've got here.
Oh, thank you very much.
So what made you choose Market Drayton? Did you grow up here?
Yes, I'm born and bred in North Shropshire. So basically, I've known Market Drayton since I was a child.
So as we're walking around the town, we've noticed a lot of stuff to do with gingerbread.
There's a little bit of history to the Billington gingerbread as well. The gingerbread's been made using the same recipe for over 200 years.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And between 1817 and 1937, it was actually made in the cellar to this shop.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Would you like to sample it?
I'd love to
Yes,
sample it,
please, yeah.
Okay. Now, if you taste it on its own,
Yeah.
okay, so have a taste now,
Okay.
right? And then, in years gone by, when the farmers and their wives came to town, they would go about their business and the wives would come and partake in gingerbread and
Yeah.
port.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yeah, yeah.
So if you now dunk it in
Oh,
port,
dunk it. Oh, okay.
dunk it in
That's cool.
port, there we go, and it really brings out the flavour of the gingerbread.
Oh, well, yeah, it does.
It does, doesn't it?
Really nice.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd definitely come back for that, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And after literally getting a taste of the town, it's back on the road to resume our search. For the second property on our tour, we're switching counties and countries too. Yes, we're hopping over to Wrexham in North Wales, destined for the village of Clwyn Mawr. Just half a mile up the road in Dolawern, locals can take in the beautiful Welsh hills by foot or by bike and stop for a breather and a bite in the peaceful village's country inn. A 2-minute drive away, sitting in the Ceiriog Valley, which 19th century Prime Minister David Lloyd George described as a little bit of heaven on earth, is this beautiful Welsh stone farmhouse, topped with a Welsh slate roof.
I'm glad you were both so flexible about where you live because we've brought you here to Wales. We thought this was just such a stunning location.
It's a gorgeous
Yeah,
backdrop, yeah.
Immediately, right, the way it's set in the hills in the background is beautiful, yeah.
It's a really great property nestled here with these amazing views.
Yeah.
We just had to show it to you.
It's lovely, yeah.
It's got a lot of character to it, isn't it?
Yeah, the stonework's very nice.
Let me show you inside.
Sure.
Dating back to the 1800s, this traditional farmhouse has bucket loads of character. We're starting our tour at the rear.
Here you have the kitchen.
Wow.
Wow, okay. This is incredible.
It's got immediately that wow factor.
Every window has a different view from it. It's like so much natural light coming in, so much space as well on the counters. And the island as well, right? That's a win, right?
Yeah, we were talking about having an island if we had space.
There's the last thing I expect is double the size of the one we have at home.
Fulfilling your wildest dreams, Tom. You're making me very happy. Right, well, let me show you what else is downstairs because there are 2 reception rooms.
Oh, wow.
okay.
Out that way.
The first of those is this room with a fabulous old range, and the second on the other side of a partition wall. The current tenant is moving out, so with the property only partially furnished, imaginations can run wild.
So this living room, it leads on to the conservatory, so we're back at the front of the house.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's got a lot of character in here as well.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
Like, they've kept a lot of it in, like with the beam, and like, the original fireplace is gorgeous.
No, I think we've got enough vision, right? We can sort of see what we want to do with the place and just love the space and just have it how it's laid out and the fact there is 2 independent rooms.
Downstairs is full of possibilities, and so is the upstairs, where there's a tiled shower room and 3 bedrooms. One could work as an office space.
You could put, you know, like my sewing machine and my embroidery machine in here,
Yeah.
and have my work desk maybe in the conservatory.
These are good sounds when you start debating about where you're going to put your office and your craft stuff. It means you really like this house.
Another room has a large ensuite bathroom, and all make the most of the spectacular outlook.
Oh, wow. It's a lot bigger, right, than the first property.
No, it is, yeah, definitely. I like the high ceilings. I like this sort of cove in the window as well.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Actually looking down the valley down there.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
The endless views can be even better admired from the grounds.
This is majestic. It's just gorgeous here, isn't it? And I think the property looks amazing here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really does, yeah.
The way it just commands its position, right, in the valley, it's just, yeah, it's stunning.
All of this would be yours. So it's just over an acre. This paddock extends right up to that tree and then back round. And of course, you've also got this lovely tiered garden,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
patio area and all of that space at the front.
Yeah.
There's enough flat bits for maybe some dog agility,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's like
there is,
section
yeah,
some of it
yeah,
off,
yeah.
and then again, it's as it goes up, right? It's perfect. Like there's already farm animal here, right?
Yeah.
Farm animals here, right? So yeah,
I can imagine the alpacas up on the ridge up there.
yeah,
So the alpacas on the ridge, the
Yeah,
dogs
yeah,
having plenty
yeah,
of space
yeah.
to roam.
yeah.
see the
Couple
ridges.
polytunnels in the corner and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
You can get growing,
yeah.
you and your mower. So how much do you think this property is on the market for?
I think it's up for 630,000.
£630,000?
I think a little bit lower because we're in Wales. I think it's maybe like 580 or 590.
There, so £580,000.
80, let's say. Yeah.
This is actually on for £610,000.
Ah, okay.
So there's room in your budget.
Definitely,
for
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
With a bit left over.
Yeah, we might solve the office situation if we can like build an outbuilding or something.
Yeah.
Under budget at £610,000, this stone Welsh farmhouse offers space downstairs with 2 reception rooms, along with 3 bedrooms and over an acre of land in the Ceiriog Valley.
For me, I think it's definitely the view. The view is gorgeous. You know, there's not many parts of the world where you get something like that right outside your front door.
It's such a Welsh cottage, and yeah, it's really exciting having the opportunity to even view this, right?
Yeah, definitely.
The property size is a lot bigger.
Yeah.
I know the land's smaller.
Yeah.
So it's trying to weigh up that, right?
Which is a nice problem to have, but it's really trying to weigh up what's more important to us.
Yeah.
This is so lovely. If it's not for you, it could be for me. This is just stunning.
Yeah.
It really is lovely.
Let's head off. You've seen a lot today. Let's go take it all in.
Sure.
Before we turn in for the night, I want to give Rachel and Tom a glimpse of what their land could look like in the very near future.
I don't even need to ask why you want to have alpacas. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. How long have you had a dream of having a home where you can have chickens and alpacas? And...
Honestly, as long as I can remember, to be fair. I think since I was a child, I've always wanted to live outside, out in the countryside, and have my alpacas, have my dogs, so...
On one of our first dates, we went on like a llama walk, a llama trek, so I think it's always been established in our relationship. We want alpacas and land,
It's been a running thread.
Yeah.
From everything you've seen today, is that just cemented that this is the right move for you?
Yeah, because I think it really hit today, right? I think 2 beautiful properties are both incredible potential, incredible locations. Yeah, it's been really hard to even compare the 2, right?
Yeah, and try and choose like a favourite out of the 2 because they both have things that we love about them. You know, it's so difficult to decide.
What a lovely position to be in.
Yeah.
Spoiled for choice, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, so much to think about. You've been brilliant today, and I love that you've been so open and flexible. I think that is going to be your challenge, that you're kind of open to the possibilities, and now you're going to have to just constrain that thinking and pick something.
Yeah. The toughest bit, yeah.
We'll get them to decide for you.
Yeah.
It doesn't take a mathematician to work out that a Shropshire address is kinder on the purse strings, because a detached house will cost you around £414,000. That's about £70,000 below the average price for England, which sits at just under £484,000. To get the lowdown on the rapidly changing property market, local estate agents are a font of all knowledge.
I think generally market towns in Shropshire are becoming a lot more popular for people to live in, particularly places where there's countryside walks, beautiful areas, and just really being a short hop from Chester, Nantwich, Shrewsbury and places like that. Young people will want to move to rural areas like this now, because for people who are working in the cities, in Birmingham, Manchester, nowadays of course they don't need to go into work necessarily every day, they can work from home, so therefore they'll cast the net out a bit further so that it doesn't affect their commute to work so much.
For those who've decided that Shropshire's the place to be, there's a wide selection of properties and prices. This detached character cottage, a former post office, is full of character. It has the potential for 3 bedrooms, a pretty cottage garden, and is on the market for just under £400,000. If your budget is a little bigger, how about this detached red brick house in a quiet hamlet? It has a spacious interior, 3 bedrooms, and its beautiful garden covers a quarter of an acre. Priced at offers in the region of £475,000. Or if you just want to take a break in the area, this modern riverside lodge could be just the place. With an open plan layout, it's contemporary and comfortable. It sleeps 2 and dogs are welcome. Located on the banks of the River Severn in the village of Wroxeter, a 2-night stay here starts at £240. What a positive start we got off to yesterday. Rachel and Tom really loved both houses, and I feel that they are totally ready to embrace this rural lifestyle. What today is going to do is really help them clarify what's most important to them. To put that to the test, our mystery house is back in Shropshire, tucked away in the hamlet of Longslow, on the edge of Market Drayton. Yes, just a few minutes' drive from town hubbub, in rural peace and quiet, is this fabulous barn conversion, one of 4 homes in this small complex. And while I go ahead and open up, I'm leaving our couple to get acquainted with the surrounding countryside. Rachel and Tom have been pretty open with their ideas about exactly where they have to live, but they have been quite precise about wanting to be in a rural location in a detached property. Well, it's mystery house time, so we've got to mix it up. We've brought them to a small collection of barn conversions, so they will have neighbours. It is very rural, but with this house, I think they're going to get a lot more than they ever expected. This house is vast and it's got so much character. But my favourite part has got to be this magnificent kitchen diner. I think it's definitely one of the biggest I have ever got to show escapees on Escape to the Country. I can't wait to see what Rachel and Tom think of it and whether they're willing to reimagine their original property plans. So, this is the mystery house. First thing to say, you can see it is not a detached property.
Sure, yeah.
You will have neighbours, but it is still pretty rural.
Yeah, definitely.
What are your first impressions?
Initially we were sort of putting out barn conversions, but like we do like them. We quite like the sort of the setting and like having sort of close neighbours. It's just so we prioritise the detached ones first, right?
Yeah, it's just because how loud the dogs are, really.
Is that the concern?
That is, yeah, with them barking.
It's a lovely setting. It's like it's nothing we'd want to completely scratch off the list, is it?
You know, it looks lovely, and it's still keeping in like with the theme of the countryside as well. Even though you can tell it's sort of more modern, like it's been recently done.
It does come with some land, but this one is all about the house. I think for you guys, it'll be really interesting to see what you think of a bit more space.
Okay.
Sure.
Come on. The barn is thought to date back to the mid-19th century, but in 2008 it was converted into a home featuring a stylish interior that retains many original features. OK,
Okay. Wow, indeed.
Yeah. That height, I didn't expect it from the outside to be so tall.
Yeah. It's deceptive on the outside.
Exactly. Yeah, very grand entrance. You've got a lovely home office there, but you have another one there.
Oh,
so you can figure out they're both equal size, work out what you want to do. Yeah. Come on, follow me. I want to show you the living room and the view.
Okay.
What do you think?
Wow, it's lovely.
It's a really nice size. I didn't expect it to be, again, the size of the room.
Yeah. Like I said, it's deceptive from the outside, isn't it?
Yeah.
Does it be smaller? No, it's lovely.
You can go straight out. You've got a lovely little garden area there. You can sit outside, enjoy the sun. And I think this looks cosy, or it feels cosy.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
But spacious. Talking of spacious, now for the big reveal, the jewel in this gorgeous property's crown. Here we go.
Oh, wow.
It's big, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's even bigger than the second house.
Now, I know you were like, oh, you know, we like a big kitchen, but
yeah,
I don't think this was on your list.
No.
Does it feel too vast or something you could occupy?
No, it doesn't, because obviously you've got the counter space in the middle at the island, sort of splits it a little bit, and then you've got, I think we need a bigger table, because I think our table would be too small.
Yeah. It feels homely again, but like that space to entertain is really nice. It has a sunken sink that you've always wanted, right?
The Belfast sink. I imagine the dogs with their dog beds in there, being as noisy as they like. So how are we feeling so far in this house? Mystery house always throws up a curveball.
Yeah, I think it has really thrown one up.
Yeah.
Because we always said we would go detached. Because I've only ever lived in like a detached property, so going to something that's attached is a bit concern for me, but it's so much bigger than you'd expect.
And you haven't seen upstairs yet?
No.
Well, there's no time like the present. And after sizing up the utility room, where Rachel will be pleased to see there's another Belfast sink, it's up to the first floor. In the eaves, there's a fully tiled bathroom and 4 bedrooms, all with characterful exposed brickwork and feature beams.
Oh, wow, okay.
That's a really nice master.
There's so much more exposed timber in this room than I thought.
That's lovely.
Like a massive ensuite as well.
I'd say that the inside of our mystery house has really delivered a lot of positives, and I'm eager to know if the outside space lives up to their expectations. The views across open countryside are certainly beautiful. So, this would be your land. You're standing in part of it. All of this land belongs to the Barnes, and yours would be 0.6 of an acre, so kind of coming across here.
Okay.
The great news is you are allowed to have animals, keep animals here.
Okay.
So you could do some fencing.
Yeah.
The other good thing is the rest of it isn't really used by the other neighbours, so there is the option of maybe renting or even trying to buy.
Interesting, okay.
If you could buy it, it'd be great, but it depends how much the house is, whether we could actually afford to buy it. That would be the problem.
So, how much do you think this property is on for?
I'd say it's right up. I'd say it's 650, right on budget. Yeah.
£650,000.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think the same as well.
Ooh, well, I think this is really going to make your head spin.
Oh my God.
This property is on the market for £580,000.
Okay. Yeah. It's a lot cheaper than we thought.
We're spoiled for choice, right?
Honestly, it's a hard choice.
Our mystery house, a fantastic barn conversion, has rung in substantially under budget at offers in the region of £580,000. It's got a super-sized kitchen, 2 home offices, 4 bedrooms, just over half an acre of land, and is located close to everyday essentials.
Like, it really has thrown a curveball for us. You know, it's so spacious. The house itself is stunning. It's really, really nice. And it's just compromising on whether you want a bigger house or you want more land.
I think we always wanted the land to be attached to the property and be able to see our animals we're looking after, right? I think it'd be a bit daunting, like having to not see them from the house. I think that sort of adds a bit more complexity to it, so it's tough.
Hello.
Hi.
I had to have another look round that house.
It is stunning.
Yeah, well, you've had plenty to see, and I know you've got lots to think about now. Let's find you somewhere to sit and think. Here in rural Shropshire, a quiet revolution is taking place. Amidst this gorgeous, colourful landscape, a new wave of farming has emerged. Shropshire Petals near Newport has been growing flowers which become biodegradable confetti for almost 20 years. And until last year, they used age-old methods of planting and weeding their fields. Now it's all change, and they're getting a rather 21st century helping hand. Hello, Ashley.
Hello.
Hi. What a gorgeous place to work.
It's beautiful.
It's breathtaking.
Oh, isn't it?
Glorious. What kind of flowers are we looking at, and how many do you have here?
Oh my gosh, we've got quite a few. Delphiniums, cornflowers, calendula. We've got loads of dried flowers as well.
Totally beautiful. And what a beautiful natural process.
Definitely.
I hear that you've got something quite cutting edge that you're using.
We do, yeah. Whilst this is quite a traditional process to some degree, we have invested in some new tech, and we are looking at the future of farming.
Around 75 acres of the 2,000-acre farm are taken over by these stunning blooms. And now they have a new guardian, a world first. So this is the newest addition to the farm family.
It is indeed one of three. Yeah, so we invested in this amazing new technology last year, and we called her Florrie.
So what is it? What am I looking at?
So we have solar-powered droid robot, and it plants and weeds all of our flowers.
Wow.
Yeah, it saves an incredible amount of manpower.
So before that, before you got Florrie,
the planting would have been done by tractor, which was pretty labour intensive, and you've got to know where you've put everything, which is very tricky. And then all the weeding would have been done by hand.
But now Florrie uses GPS to know exactly where to plant and where to weed.
So if I hit this little button here...
Yeah, there we go.
There we go, yeah, that's the
It's
stuff.
off.
So it plants everything in one go, and then you change the setting basically, and then it'll just weed and weed and weed.
And that's Florrie's job today. She might not be speedy, moving at just over half a mile an hour, but she is precise.
How is it contributing towards sustainability here at the farm?
Obviously it's solar powered, so it's not using fuel. Fantastic. It's much more lightweight than a tractor as well, so it's not compacting the ground, which is always good for like the invertebrates that live in there, insects, worms, all the good stuff that we want to encourage and have that nice biodiversity in there. I've never noticed them before, but we've had so many more ground nesting birds on the field itself. I've seen a couple of hares already as well, let alone all the insects and bees.
What's the impact on humans? Because this has taken away jobs. Have you had much pushback about that?
We're always going to need engineers. We're always going to need someone for maintenance to sort of quality check the work and things. So it's just a matter of we get better at what we do. It saves people, you know, back-breaking work, and it's so much more efficient than a human could be anyway.
Well, I've got to say, the results speak for themselves, don't they? I get to look at this. This is gorgeous.
It is stunning, isn't it?
While Florrie's doing her job, I'm going to have a go at picking the fruits of her labour. When the flowers are in bloom, it usually takes around 4 weeks to pick them. These pink beauties are delphiniums.
Well, this is where we go low tech now. Okay. So it's all done by hand.
Right.
And the key to this is making sure you've got a good amount of flowers on your stem, and then giving them a nice little chop, getting a nice little bundle, and then we'll pop them into the crate.
Wonderful. It's a very satisfying job. I love it. It's beautiful. We've got these beautiful bunches here. Are these all becoming confetti?
Some of them will make it to confetti, so we'll take them back to the farm, we will dry them. They'll basically be in a big airing cupboard for a couple of days, and then they'll be, made into confetti, that's it.
Up to 1 million handfuls of petals are harvested each summer, and the dried confetti is sold worldwide. It's packed by hand in the petal shed. I'm here to help, and I've got a whole kaleidoscope to choose from. There are 6 different colours of delphinium petals, along with blue cornflowers and yellow calendula.
So I can choose any colours I like.
You can, yeah.
These look a little familiar.
Yeah, so these are our candy floss pink, what we picked earlier on, and they are looking absolutely gorgeous. These will have actually been picked last year. They keep for so well and so long.
I have to say, this is so satisfying. The sound and the feel of the petals. Oh, feels like there's only one thing left to do now. We've got to throw this confetti.
We've got to. We've been rude not to. So the trick,
yes,
throw as high as you can and go for it.
3, 2, 1, go! Now, maybe I'm being a little premature, but I hope this means we're going to have something to celebrate. Well, Rachel and Tom, what a wonderful week we've had.
That has been brilliant. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it.
It's been really insightful just seeing properties that sometimes we wouldn't consider, or I think it's been a brilliant week. Yeah.
Well, you had a 5-year plan. I think we were right on schedule. It's quite critical for you to make a decision now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Your house is already sold.
Yeah.
So what have you decided?
We both love property number 1.
All 3 of them were incredible, and each one of them was what we wanted, and it got down to sort of the nitty-gritty of what would each property give us.
Yeah.
And I think we decided number 1 is where we want to progress, right? Yeah.
No, definitely, because it has like the outside space, so you can build out towards it, and we're sort of spoilt for how much land you've got there, really.
I think now we're focused on the land use more than the house itself.
Well, you do get kind of everything with that property, don't you? You get the opportunity to extend or build and make it your own.
Yeah.
And the bonus of the extra land that you weren't expecting, really, were you?
No, definitely.
So what are you going to do next?
I think we'll go for a second viewing on property 1. Yeah. And then really pursue that, really.
Yeah.
Putting an offer in if it all goes well at the second
Yeah,
all goes well, happy to put an offer in for the second viewing, I think the second view is just a
formality.
A formality at this point,
really,
right?
Yeah. I think we tried to put an offer in today.
Oh, you make me so happy. You know exactly what you want. I hope this process has allowed you to really interrogate those decisions so you can go into it with certainty.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
It really has sort of opened our eyes to what we really did want.
Every single thing we wanted is that property 1 offers,
Very excited. Cannot wait to hear how successful you've been with your fingers crossed, and we can come back and revisit you.
Yeah, excited. You can beat the alpacas and come at the chickens,
Well, thank you. It's been so much fun being with you, getting to witness you going through this process, figuring out what you want, and coming to this amazing next chapter for your lives.
Very exciting. Thank you so much as well for showing us around here.
Our pleasure. I love it when a plan comes together. Rachel and Tom had a plan, but they approached it with curiosity, flexibility and open minds, and that led them to make a perfect decision. And I, for one, think it's the right one for them. I'll see you next time on Escape to the Country. Tom and Rachel's plan came to fruition. They put in an offer on House 1 that was accepted. So it won't be long before they're enjoying their new home and its land. We wish them the very best of luck. If you would like to escape to the country in England, Northern Ireland, Scotland or Wales and need our help, why not apply online at bbc.co.uk/take part.